Okay, here we are. Let's have a look. Just try and get things straight. Right. Hi Anne, first in the door tonight, Anne. Well done. Thank you for joining me. I hope you if you had a few. First in the door tonight, Anne. Well done. Thank you for joining me. I hope you. You've got me double there. Sorry. I hope your few days this week back at work weren't too hectic. I know what it's like coming back off of holiday. I'm afraid this week has been absolutely ridiculous work-wise for me. Which is why we didn't have Facebook Live on Monday as we normally do, because I was in the office till about 8 o'clock on Monday evening, having started at about 8 o'clock. And then I had another 12-hour day yesterday. A little bit shorter today, but I managed to make it back in time for this evening. So let's have a look. Okay, just making sure that we've got video and sound. Right, okay. So, as I said, welcome. It's not Monday, it's Wednesday. Hopefully normal service will be resumed again next week. Once again, apologies for missing this Monday's session, but I just had way too much work to do. Some bright spark, scheduled, ridiculous stuff. I'm an accountant by trade, and it's our month end, which is our normal busy time where we get everything sorted out and do up all the reporting. But they also decided to add into that an audit and a board meeting for which we had to prepare documents, and also preparation of budget for review. So any one of those things would have kind of kept me late in the office, but all of them all at once, it was a bit of a perfect storm. So yeah. Anyway, can you hear the rain? It's raining this evening. It just started as I got back, so hopefully it won't be too heavy, and we can get started. So where are we at? I don't think I've got any particular news to tell you this week. No, all's quiet. There are some excellent special offers coming for you in October, which I shall tell you about a bit later. But basically, the 7th of October is World Card Making Day, and to celebrate, Stampin' Up! Are going to have 15% off selected. I think it is just you and me for the moment, but you know what? That's fine with me. We'll just talk to one another. Maybe some people will join us later on. I don't know, maybe Wednesday's not such a good night for everybody. But yeah, as I was saying, from the 1st of October, there's going to be a special offer with 15% off certain, stamp sets and accessories. And there's also going to be a special offer on paper, where if you buy 3 packs of our Designer Series paper, you get to choose a 4th free, which is a really good chance to stock up. So I'll be posting more details about that as it gets a bit closer to the time. But for now, I think we'll just crack on and do some crafting. I've been looking forward to this since 15% off, and yep, absolutely. And as I say, it's off some of the stamp sets and various bits and pieces. So I've seen some of them, and there's some of my favourites on there. So keep an eye out for that. Right, so last week we made this card. And I remember saying last week that I think that this layout would work really, really well. Oh, hi Sue, glad to see you're with us as well. Oh, I can just see the comments coming through. Okay, great. Yes, so yeah, last week I made this card, and I remember saying that I thought it would make a really good Christmas card as well, using the snowflakes that are also in this Colourful Seasons die set. So that's what I'm going to start with tonight. I'm going to have a go at making a Christmas card. So I did that, and this is what I came up with. So you can see it's exactly the same layout. And it's using the same die set, just using different sentiments and slightly different embossing folder. So I'm going to crack on and make this one first of all. So we shall start with our card base in Whisper White. Golden score as usual. And then we have a layer of this is Soft Sky, a layer of Soft Sky, and then we have a layer of Whisper White, which I'm going to emboss. And then, right ladies, while I'm embossing, I need your advice. I've cut out two snowflakes here. One is using our silver glimmer paper. This one is using our Dazzling Diamonds glitter paper. And the one I've already made is using our champagne foil. So have a think, which one do you think will look best on the card? The Dazzling Diamonds or the silver? So I'm going to just emboss this. I'm going to get the big shot in for that. So while I'm embossing, have a think and let me know what you want. Hopefully it won't be a split decision. Right, so I'm using the Softly Falling embossing folder, which gets a lot of use this time of year. So I'm just going to pop this champagne foil. Yep, okay. Well, you see, I've already done a champagne foil, so I'm going to try one of the glimmers. So, see how they work. Right, let's have a look. So, make sure I've got my correct base, which I don't. I'm going to pull that out. So there we go. So Anne, have you had a chance to play with your Carols of Christmas online class yet? Or have you been busy at work too? Who's that likes the silver? Sue likes the silver. One vote for silver. Okay. I think it provides a bit more of a contrast, doesn't it? Right, so there we've got our dots. Now on this one, you can see I actually did it with the debossed side, but I think for this one I'm going to do it with the embossed side, the raised dots. Okay, just be a bit different. Let's put that over there. Okay, so now all I want to do is just yeah, and I know the feeling about being brain dead in the evening after work. There are some nights where I want to come out and craft, but I just end up vegging out in front of the TV instead. But hopefully the weekends will be a bit better for you. There we go. And especially if you've been off on holiday, those first few days back at work, they make you think, why did I bother going on holiday, don't they? I know I feel like that sometimes. After the first day back, you've almost forgotten what it was like to be on holiday. Right, so there we go. There's our base layer. And then I'm just going to glue this on. And this is, again, a bit like the other one. Very, very simple to do. It would be a really easy one to do as a production line card. Not a lot, really, to it. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my scrap of paper. I get these scraps. Can you see properly? I'm just looking. Yeah, I'm in shot. Okay. So these are just from when I'm trimming my cardstock down to size, and we're going to stamp that in. We're going to use. I had grey. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so and the stamps that we're going to use is the Santa's Sleigh. Now this stamp says Merry Christmas wishes, but I only want Merry Christmas. I'm going to show you how to only stamp part of your stamp. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my post-it and I'm going to trim it down. I'm just going to stick it over the wishes bit because I don't want that to stamp. Okay, do that. And take my ink pad, and shut. Okay, and I'm going to just ink up my stamp as normal. Okay, remove the post-it, very important step, and then just stamp as normal. There we go. Now I can see that I hadn't cleaned my stamp properly from last time. Can you see that? So I've got an impression from where I didn't clean it. Naughty, naughty. So let me just do that. Check. Yep, so let's flip it over and we'll do the same again. Right, so here we go. Place our post-it. Oh gosh, the rain's getting heavy now. Can you hear it? Okay. Let's ink it up. Remove our piece. And then just stamp down. There we go, that worked. Okay, so then I'm going to take where's my punch? Ah, here it is. Okay, and I'm going to trim it on this side, like so. You can use our triple banner punch for this as well, but I just find this one a little bit easier. Rain hasn't reached Kent yet. Oh, and you've got something to look forward to then, I guess. Oh, phew. I thought for a second I'd just I'd just trimmed the wrong bit of my piece. Right, so there we go. So let's bring back in our card. And I had a vote for silver. For silver it is. And then we've got a little bit of soft sky ribbon, so I'm just going to trim that. Okay, so when I'm putting ribbon down, I like to use double-sided tape. So I'm just going to put a strip of double-sided tape like so. The reason I like double-sided tape is that it's straight, so it helps to keep the ribbon straight. Okay, so just going to place that on there like that, and then I don't want it quite as long as that, so I'm going to trim it on this side like so, and then trim it here, and then I'm going to take my sentiment piece and I'm going to use my mini dimensionals on this bit. Like so. Place it down where I want it. Okay, and then again just trim it. Now I can see I need another dimensional in here, so I'm just going to pop one down like this. There we go. Even put it on straight. There we are. So we had a vote for silver. So that's what we're going to have. So let's just pop a couple of glue dots on the back. Now, a tip when cutting fine dies or detailed dies like this with your with glimmer paper like this, because the paper is a bit thicker. Well, it's quite a bit thicker than our cardstock. and it has a waxy coating on the back, so sometimes it takes a bit to get it cut. So there's two things to do. One is to try and use our precision base plate, because that really makes a big difference. And the other thing to do is that the natural instinct is to lay your die down with the glimmer surface up, but if you actually turn it over and cut it that way, then it cuts through the waxy layer a lot better, and it just releases from your die a lot more easily. Now I'm going to pop that there and then bring in some rhinestones. Now I notice that I've got a little bit of a thingy there because my stamp wasn't 100% clean, so I'm just gonna cover that up like that, and then I'm going to add a couple more around like so. There we go, and there we have it. So let's just clear a spot. So which do we prefer? Let me pull it up so you can see. Do we prefer the champagne foil, or do we prefer the silver glimmer paper? I must try it with silver foil actually, but let's have your votes. And if you're with us and you haven't said hi yet, then just leave me a comment so I know you're here, so I know who we're talking to and who we've got. So yeah, champagne foil or silver glimmer, let me know. Right, let's put these away, clear a bit of space, and we're going to move on to our next card. We're going to stick with the sort of glimmery theme because I got this paper last week. Those of you who were at class with me will have seen this. This is absolutely beautiful. This is our Year of Cheer, I think it's called. Silver, so well, I should hope silver gets your vote because you picked it. So I'm glad you like your choice. But anyway, this is the as I say, the Year of Cheer Designer Series paper, and can you see just the foil that's on there? Isn't that absolutely beautiful? So I'm going to make some cards. I'm going to make a card using this. So it's billed as a Christmas, but I think if you look at most of these patterns, with the exception of the snowflakes here, you could use at any time. So let me show you what I've made. The bits. So this is what I've come up with. And this is really, really simple. You can use any kind of patterned paper for a card like this. And again, you could do this and then just put Happy Christmas at the bottom. So it works either way. It's a great, again, really simple layout to do. So what we're going to use is the Sunshine Saying stamp set and the coordinating die. Now I've got this bow here by cutting out this flower. You like it, Anne? I do. I'm very pleased with it. So this, I think I used on a card a little while ago. Yes, a couple of weeks ago when we did the hexagons, and I cut out this flower. But all I'm going to use is the top for this bit. So we're going to start with basic black as our card base. And then for this one, I'm going to use, I've used the one pattern here, but I'm going to use this pattern here, which is more of a champagne colour. So we're going to use champagne foil as this one. And this is really extravagant. Look at that. I'm using a piece from my entire back. I've cut that a bit big, so just 1 second. I'm going to trim it. There we go. Okay. And then we've got our piece of Whisper White, which goes on top. And then we've got this, which is going to be our present. So all I've done is I've cut some very thin strips of champagne foil, about 1/2 centimetre wide, and I'm going to stick those down. But first I'm going to just show you how I've cut out this one. So let me bring back in the big shot. Okay. So to save having to cut the whole thing, all I'm going to do So I'm just going to lay my die down, but I'm just going to put it at the edge like that. Can you see that? Is that in shot? No, it's not in shot. I'm showing you something that you can't see. There we go, that's better. So there we go, I'm just going to lay it down so it's off the foil, because I don't want to waste any of my foil. And then we'll just pop that down. I'll run this through a couple of times. There we are. Pop that off. And then we'll just pop the pieces out. Like so. Get my piercing tool and just release that. There we go. Just some of these bits. There we are. Okay. Off, and there we have it. So then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim along the bottom here. Can you see that? I'm just going to trim it along the bottom, so I've got a nice flat bottom piece. Okay, so that's our die cutting done. Move this out, and then the assembly is easy peasy. Right, so let's bring back in our pieces. So let's assemble our present first of all. So for this one, I do recommend using the fine tip glue pen, just because it lays down, as the name suggests, a fine strip of glue, so you don't get gunk coming out onto your present. Okay, so we'll just put a little bit along the center and then press it down. And what I would say is that because this paper that you're sticking onto is foiled, is just give the glue a moment to grab on and stick. Okay, there we go. And then we'll do the same one here. And like I said, you could do this with any kind of patterned paper you wanted. Any kind at all. Christmas, birthday, whatever. And again, very, very easy. That's not quite straight. There we go. Alright, and then we're going to take some glue dots and just pop them on the back here. So we want a few glue dots sticking to me instead. 2, and put one more. There we go. I just love how opulent this looks with the foil on top. And there we have our beautifully wrapped present. So all we do then is we just pop some dimensionals on the back of here. Okay, and we'll put that to one side for the moment. So now I'm going to stamp my greeting. So let me just, very important when using the fine tip glue pen to put the lid back on straight away, otherwise it gunks up. You can fix it, but it's a bit of a faff. So, right, so we've got our happy birthday, which is this one here. And we're going to ink that up in black. So we're just going to bring back in our present, because I want to line that up here. So it gives me a guide to where I want to stamp. So let's get our present straight. There we go. That's it. And then in the middle. Yay, that was easy. Okay, now with this layer here, ordinarily I wouldn't use all of this on a layer. I'd usually cut something out of the center to then use another time. But for the purposes of tonight, I'm not going to bother with that. But if I was you, because you know this is gorgeous paper and you want to save it, you could just cut a square or a rectangle out of the center, so you've got a scrap so that you could use for these other bits if you wanted. So then we're just going to glue glue our white piece onto our champagne foil. Ooh, got a hair on there. I'm molting. Better than melting, I guess. Right, so there we go. And then again, glue on the back. Now, if you're making this card and you're popping up your present, hi Amy, good to have you with us. Don't worry, you only missed one card. But I'm using this gorgeous paper that you got, so I'll give you some ideas for it. But yes, this card, because it's speciality paper, it's quite a bit thicker. So it holds its shape very well, so it works well for popping up on dimensionals. But if you're using ordinary paper, I would either lay it flat or cut it or stick it onto a piece of card at the back, because otherwise it will just flop about and you won't get that nice stiffness that you get from this paper, because it is that little bit thicker. It's almost like cardstock actually. Here we go. Okay, so we'll just pop that on there. Is that straight? Sort of. There we go. So that's card number 2. Hi Denise, good to have you. Glad you like it. So ladies, which do you